We did it?
Yeah, that's it. Kenzie figured it out. This was all clogged in the elbow, right? But actually just past the elbow, but just inside the filter body.
After spending an incredible day at Allen's Key, it was time to move on to our next stop. The weather report was calling for winds up to 30 miles per hour, and with the poor holding in this area, we knew it would be best to anchor on the west side of nearby Highborn Key. As we were motoring out of the southwest Allen's Key entrance, we noticed the engine didn't sound right, and the water was not flowing properly out of the raw water cooling system. We quickly turned around and found a place to anchor so we could try to solve the problem.
So are you just replacing this thing?
Yeah, the pump impeller. Yeah, it looks fine actually. I could just about put that back in there. It's one little chunk missing though, but I may have pulled that out. That's not really even hardly worn. I thought maybe we had destroyed an impeller or something. The impeller was perfect, but we switched it out anyway and fired it back up and it still wouldn't work. Nope, it's still not working. There's a little bit of water flowing, but less than half what there should be. So Kenzie suggested we pull the filter element apart, even though it looked completely free, and check it from there down to the through hole, and sure enough, that's right where it was.
Can you get it out?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
You need something to stick down in there?
Yeah.
Or can you pump water through it? I guess that was the problem.
Oh, here, this unscrews.
Oh.
Alright, we sucked one of those floating weed things up. Oh, here's the problem.
I was right, it clogged.
You were exactly right, Kenzie. Genius, exactly right. And the problem is I got this thing in here backwards, I just realized.
You do?
Yeah, the filter stuff supposed to come in this one. It clogged in the middle and there's plenty of room for it. Around the edge is supposed to be the water that already went through the thing, the strainer. So that's just, it was just put in there backwards. Clean and simple, put in there backwards.
Well, at least we figured it out, and this will probably fix our problem, right?
Yeah, no, this will fix us. We just got to turn this, the body of this around, face the other direction, so it doesn't clog again, and we'll be in business.
Oh, good.
That was lucky, thanks to Kenzie. We got an easy fix. I would have been tearing like complicated stuff apart personally. My next shot would have been like all the plumbing between the pump and the engine and the cooler, and yeah. So that was a good easy fix. So we're back on the road now. Whew, but it is hot. Man, I am just dying of sweat. That engine was a good 200 degrees. And it's hot enough out here anyway. It's like 80 degrees, which is fine. But when you're over the top of that engine, it's hot.
The anchorage on the west side of Highborn Key is a fantastic place to visit. There are nice beaches, and just over that hill you can find a marina and a small grocery store where you can buy fresh bread and veggies, among other items.
Don't get eaten by that big stingray. Randall's checking the anchor right now. He says that this is the best sand so far, and it's not going anywhere, so that's good. The winds should be coming from the north and then wrapping around the island that way, and so the island will be protecting us, so that's good. And the water here is crystal clear. You can see the bottom. You can practically see the anchor. Well, we're not that close to the anchor. You can see the chain on the rope down there though. And apparently that's the party boat. We just saw a really large stingray, the biggest one I've seen so far, go right underneath the boat. That was pretty cool.
It's a little misshapen, but that's how he grew. Someone must have taken a bite out of him.
We spent all day yesterday at Allen Keys, which is gorgeous. I could stay there the rest of my life. But we've got a cold front blowing through, and so for the next 4 days or so, we've got 25 to 30 knot winds. And Allen Keys is not a great place to hide out for that. The holding's not great there, and there's just no room to swing, no room, it's tight there. But we're here on the back side of Highborn Key now, anchored in some really good holding sand on the bottom, and plenty of room to swing. It's a little rolly, but not compared to some of the really rolly places we've been in the recent past. So we're happy about that. We're just waiting out the weather so we can keep on skipping down the Exumas further south. It's been a pretty slow day, sitting on board, just waiting for the weather to improve. I think I'm gonna go for a little dip and have a look at the anchor. I have no reason to believe it's not doing well, but out of boredom, I'll take a look at the anchor, and I might even tie this bucket on to the anchor line just a few feet down from the bow. See if I can create a little extra drag when our bow wants to tack left and right.
It's not very warm today. I might swim up there and then check it out and then come back and have you hand me the bucket. So it'll be hard to swim up to the bow with the bucket. It's cold.
As you can see, the anchor is set perfectly in a great holding bottom. The only thing that I noticed was that the 10 feet of chain at the end of our anchor rod was lifting off the seabed a little more than I'd like. I think I'll increase the scope a little bit to keep it a little lower. Our boat still sails at anchor a little more than I'd like, and we're trying a few different odd tricks to see if we can make it a little more manageable. The bucket tied to the bow didn't really work, but it was worth a try. It didn't help. Didn't do anything. Just flopped around down there. The anchor's doing great. Doesn't look like it's budged an inch. But I'm going to let out a little bit more scope because we're pulling hard enough to lift the 10 feet of anchor chain off the bottom. So a little more scope won't hurt. We're anchored behind Highborn Key in a nice location for the wind. I don't know why I'm talking so slow. On the west side of Highborn Key, I can stop saying, we're anchored behind Highborn Key because it's a bit windy out for the next 4 days, 25 to 30 knots, so not something we want to be out and about in. We're anchored here. I just said that already. We're anchored. We're anchored. Of course we're anchored. We're not moving. We got plenty of scope. got plenty of room to swing, so we're in a good place. And I don't like what I'm saying now. I sound like a retard. So we're liking it here, and we're just gonna fight boredom by doing laundry and getting creative. And that sounds retarded as well. I feel like I'm gonna read every book I've got in about 2 days though, so we'll see how it goes. It's still a bit rolly, but not compared to some really rolly anchorages we've, I blew it.